Namaste and welcome, beloved mighty companions. Infinite light. To start with who we are first. What's always here, infinite light. Jesus says, spend time here as light. Where there are no cares for the world or worries or ideas or concepts. Infinite light has no concepts, no ideas. He's been reminding me like it's impossible to know the advancements in the retreats. We have to ask him. He says, definitely spending time with me is an advancement. To see that love hasn't gone anywhere. We just keep trying to run away from it. And yeah, just seeing, I have to like ask him, okay, is this a relief? It's just helpful. Because sometimes it just feels like those thoughts, they just keep coming. And he says, just see you're not that. They're only coming through because of your desire for them, which can be seen through with me. And just keep asking me what's truly most helpful for healing. I can see how that is that is a helpful mantra. You know, you talk about mantras and saying the name of God over and over. He says, ask me. He says, that's the best mantra of all. Ask me. Ask me for my interpretation. And just see where the interpretation on thought is the interpretation on the world. Interpretive function is the no to God. Desire to say no to light. So we just look at each day and yeah, the other thing he's been really bringing to me and remind me of the lack of picking and choosing, how consciousness loves that pick and choose. Ask Jesus. To pick some things is more important than others, and to be indiscriminate. Be indiscriminate when looking at thoughts or using the lessons. He says to be indiscriminate is to accept all miracles. Oh, that's so much love in that. Because consciousness is a discriminator. See, it likes to pick out the little smidgens and judge. And then, and that's really a play too, we can see is how it judges the judging. I shouldn't be judging. It has the ego extra, as I call it. You know, like you judge something, then you judge it. I shouldn't have judged. He says, just come to me and see that I don't judge it. So he's basically saying we don't need the ego extras, right? That the light's really here right now. Like, no, he's reminding me, no extras, no ego extras. Just see right here, right now is the light here, the light test. And then does the light get entangled? You know, you talk about entanglement theory. You get entangled, thought entanglement. Like you feel like you're caught in a spider web. You know, I'm asking, is that desired experience? He goes, yep. You used to have a desire to feel like I'm caught in a web inescapable, like you struggle. Like I talked about, he's showing me that little, oh, they used to throw them at Mardi Gras. They're like a little woven tube, and you stick your fingers in and you pull straight out. It's just like, you can't get out of there. I'm caught. I can't get out. And we keep trying the same one thing. Pull, pull. No, you just kind of push in and the thing drops off. It's kind of like that story of the monkey, there's a banana inside a coconut. It's got a little hole with the banana in there. Monkey goes in there and grabs that banana in his hand. I'm stuck to a coconut. Like, no, just let your hand go, But if you want that, that's how it is, the desire for that banana, no matter what, that feeling in conscious. I'm gonna have this no matter what, Jesus. No, he just goes, you don't need that banana. But we're so sure we need it. And then our hand's caught and we're going around with the coconut on our hand. All day. It's like, just let it go. I'll show you an easier way. Turn the coconut over, shake it, the banana will fall out. But it's like, no, I'm going to get that banana out of here. We try to force everything in the play of consciousness. You ever notice that? You find yourself like so impatient, just want to force everything. Jesus going, yeah. This need not be. He gives me this need not be. Okay. And he says, you like those coconuts and those bananas. And then we're going to tell a story. Man, the most horrible thing happened. I got my hand caught, a coconut grabbed me. No. We tell a whole story about the hand in a coconut. Oh my gosh. Oh, it's too funny. It's not so funny because you're mad when your hand's in the coconut, and you can't get rid of that. It's going everywhere with me. No, Jesus is trying to say, look, just open your hand. It just doesn't have to be caught inside that coconut. And we're always like, okay, I'm going to have to play, not we, just how consciousness likes to pretend like it's separate by keeping its hand caught in a coconut. Or you can see Jesus has given me the talk. It's all the same. That's why he's talking about be indiscriminate in the use of application of miracles. Yes, he's saying he was telling me that this morning. Thanks for the reminder. Oh, there's so much love in that. Like, apply the lessons to everything is to accept miracles in everything. And he's showing us how we like to pick out those little things like little coconuts in consciousness, pretend like our hand's stuck in there or whatever it is, that we're at the upset du jour, whatever the upset. It's like the soup of the day and it's upset du jour. Or the minute, sometimes it seems every minute. The fire. We can ask, in the light of divine being, do emotions need to be experienced to release them? This is just accept a miracle. Just see how much you really like them. Oh, the relish. See that, go down with them. Use that miracle worksheet. Join with a brother. You see the upset come up. And he's really teaching us how to pop through. That we're powerful, infinite beings. What need do we have to spend a lot of time? He's reminding me of what Muji would say, if you throw up, you just don't go examine it all the time, That's helpful though, because you see how we want to get in the examination. So I also ask him, Jesus, what do I need to see? Otherwise I can see that, the ego wants to get involved, like examine it all and look at it carefully and figure it out. And it's like, That gets exhausting. Let's see how exhausting that is when we have the one who knows. Take out that miracle worksheet, join with a brother, and just let him go, okay, let me show you what it is that, I'll show you here. Right. Okay, Jesus. He's jumping in. He's saying, look, I'm here for you to help you just see through that delusion where you really like it. You really like that play, addiction. You want to keep all those little tinker toys. Okay, Jesus, here's another tinker toy. I can feel it because you start to feel that tension. Feel all that tension rising up. So Jesus, will you guide us today in what we need to see? What's most helpful for the love, the whole? That just sounded terrible. I think I told the story like Lisa Fair called me and they said, why don't you come back, to the community? We can hear you. And I could just feel the call was to Muji, in the heart. And I even talking about it now, really. You see, the prompt is only in this minute for what's most helpful. It's this minute. And, but she was talking to me, okay, we've really changed things and things are really different now in the community and we're doing things differently. And she said, and we're in service to the whole. And I could feel myself freeze. Like that sounded horrible. Service to the whole. That just, and now it's like you see the heaven in that. Thank you, Lisa. I love you always. So helpful. What a helpful. You just sort of see the whole appearance of, God, just even thinking about Lisa, like so much love comes. And then that's how it is. Our brother, the thought of a brother points right up to infinite love. Instead of like, oh my God, I got to avoid them like the plague. But you don't see how until Jesus shows me, how, all the avoidance in the joining, to avoid joining, to see what's joined. We only join to see what's already joined because there's not actually something joining something else. But how powerful is it? It's just a symbol of willingness to be shown a different way and to receive the gifts that Jesus is bringing us through that brother, like, and we need Jesus's interpretation. See, the speed of the correction is, Jesus, what's your interpretation of wholeness? That he could see, I wasn't really talking. I was talking to him soon, but you just see that Jesus duke out thing. I was talking to Kelly and yesterday it was like, we were talking about duking it out with Jesus all day. When Jesus told her, he said, every time well, first, when we don't follow him, we're duking out with Jesus, which is kind of crazy. Look at that thought. He says, so we don't know where we're duking it out with them. Wherever we're duking it out with ourselves, we're duking it out with Jesus because Jesus is us. There's no Jesus outside. Infinite love. It's just the voice of love within. And then being determined to do exactly what he says. I will tell you everything, where to go, what to do, what to say, and just say it. That's what he's really honing in on in these joining sessions. Like he's teaching us how to speak our own voice, but it seems to be Jesus's voice, just so we can discern, because we have so many, the voice, all the day, because the mind's undisciplined, as he said so directly. You're so undisciplined. Jesus, am I really undisciplined in terms of the miscreation? He'll say, yes. And then he's reminding me how when we follow him, we can't miscreate. It's just divine expression going, oh. It frees us. It's freedom. It's a celebration of God. All that is when he asks us to do something, he's teaching us how to celebrate. It's like we need to remember that. Ask him, Jesus, do I need to remember how to celebrate all that? Yes. The Son of God remembered not to laugh. So we just put a little memory plug in the dam. We plugged up the miracle flow with memory. Jam it. Miracle constipation, as he, he knows that's going to be funny. And we need to laugh. We need to laugh. He's good with miracle constipation because it's exactly a good metaphor for what's happening. It's putting a stopper on divine, infinite love going, just flowing to show and demonstrate that God has love doesn't limit us. Love doesn't punish us for, wanting this playing consciousness. We're bringing out the big stick. Jesus, am I whacking myself with a stick? Can you hear the yes? Need this be? No. So let me show you. Okay, so we're going to apply it to everything. And then that's the other thing. We don't see how many big sticks we're using on ourselves. He's got to even show that. Ask him, Jesus, do you have to show me where I'm whacking myself with a stick? Yes, because you think it's pleasure. See, you think pleasure is a good thing. Okay. The addiction to pleasure. See, and using pleasure to try to escape pain. But you can ask him, Jesus, is pleasure and pain the same thing? You can hear yes. Okay, can you show me that? Because it's so elusive, seemingly in the play of consciousness. It's the loop-de-loop, I'll have pain for a while, but in a little while I'll have pleasure. See, how that creates a future. Whoa, pain, no, but the pain's going to go away and then I'm going to have pleasure and come back around, but then it goes back up. We're inside the loop until we pop out of it and see, wait a minute, neither of those are true. That's an addiction. You step off the Ferris wheel and see, wait a minute, infinite's here. I am happiness. Happiness is what is. It's not trying to get it somehow in the future. Or, you kind of have like a little smidgen of happiness. The littlest tiny crack in happiness for like 5 minutes and then, okay, on to the next thing. Searching for happiness and dreaming in memory. The search is on in memory. It's going to be a better memory. It's going to give me happiness, a better image, something that I hear differently. Some sound is going to be happier than this sound. When love's here, happiness is here. So Jesus, I am determined to see things differently. Again, he's coming back to indiscriminately. No discriminations. Everything has to be everything. Ask him, Jesus, does everything have to be? It's like, yeah, no exceptions to indiscriminate, determined to see things different, indiscriminately. He says, yes, that's a helpful word into that lesson. No discrimination. So you can see that every thought, feeling, and emotion. What does light need for thoughts, feeling, and emotions? Does it have any? Infinite light of being, the holy instant? Is it looking toward thought for what it is? So consciousness is a little thought manufacturing plant. It's a desire for discrimination and focus and play. So Jesus is coming in. He's going, let me show you. I'm going to show you how to use consciousness to start to notice when you're using misuse of consciousness to deny yourself that you're already light. So rather than this pretend of fragmentation, he's using consciousness to turn it back on itself to see what's whole. Because the light doesn't need to see what's whole. The light's whole. Light's here. Light's already happened. That he's breaking the addiction to consciousness by having us really use the power of consciousness. It's really fragmented consciousness, addicted to fragmentation and looking at parts and pieces and little memories and dancing with the devil in different ways, 1,000 different dances with the devil. But to see them all, it has to be indiscriminately applied. Otherwise, they'll be lurking below the level of awareness. And it will feel like they've come up and you get hit, like that little Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, where I talked about that, where it's just such the way it feels in consciousness. You know, they're trying to walk, and it's like a desert kind of scape, some kind of almost like a lunar desert scape on some planet. And they're trying to walk across it, and they go 2 feet and they get hit right in the face with a paddleboard. It's like, where'd that come from? Every time they'd have a creative thought, it'd be, that's how the ego works. Like the Joker dancing there. Oh, he's in the joy. I love dancing on the street. And then first thing you know, somebody takes his board and breaks it. And because it's desired experience for attack. To deny joy is here. I'm determined to see things differently. The idea for today is obviously a continuation and extension of the previous one. Okay, and remember the previous one, just in case. I am determined to see. Oh, so he just takes this a little step further. I'm determined to see differently. Willingness, it's Lori's W. This is willingness to see things differently. So rather than the pitchfork stuck in the ground, we turn it upside down, go willingness. Holding a position of the ego, we just go, okay, we're going up. The idea for today is obviously a continuation and extension of the preceding one. Okay. This time, however, the specific mind searching periods are necessary. Okay. In addition to applying the idea of particular situations as they may arise. Okay. So whatever arises, and then also mind searching. So it's very interesting. So he's using that discrimination and consciousness. We're usually looking for the shark. So he's using the shark to hunt instead of hunt for healing. You know, he's teaching us when you're searching your mind, you're looking for the ways of love is denied, all the places. So rather than look to deny love, he's teaching us how to look to see where we are denying love, where the choice is to deny. He's turning that whole thing back on itself. In addition, applying the eye to particular situations as they may arise. And he keeps going back to the indiscriminate thing. How to whatever situations arising, because we can't, the addiction is to things we think make us happy as well as things that make, and I can see how much focus there was. I'm not happy and I'm focused on that. But he's also reminding me to look at things that seem to make happiness. Five practice periods are urged, allowing a full minute for each. In the practice periods, begin by repeating the idea to yourself. Okay, I am determined to see things differently. Then close your eyes and search your mind carefully for situations past, present, or anticipate that arouse anger in you. Okay, I'm willing to take a minute here and go with I'm determined to see things differently. See if there are any little things, Their anger may take the form of any reaction ranging from mild irritation to rage. He's really showing us how it's all the same. Whether it's the teeniest, you can ask him, Jesus, whether it's the teeniest tiny little twitch or rage, are they all the same? So it's really helpful for these lessons to stay very still and focused on the lesson. Really in these sessions, just this deep contemplation. Just to let what he's sharing with us just sink in. Okay, so mild irritation to rage. The degree of emotion you experience does not matter. See, he's really pointing to it's all the same, whether it's a twitch or you're raging maniac. Because the ego can play like if you just rage, it's going to get out. No, you just search the mind and just see where that itch is for it. I really want how much we like that play of rage. You will become increasingly aware that a slight twinge of annoyance is nothing but a veil drawn over intense fury. So let's ask him about that. Jesus, will you show me how a slight twinge of annoyance is the same as intense fury? Let's just look at it. Is that intense? Yes. That's why we have to look indiscriminately of everything. We can't say that some things are, if it's a twitch, it's still to be looked at. Yes, he's saying yes. Okay. Try therefore not to let the little thoughts of anger escape you in the practice periods. Remember, you do not really recognize what arouses anger in you. Now that is helpful. Okay, Jesus, show us that one directly. Will you help me show? Because we need him actually to show us. You do not really, Jesus, do I not really recognize what's arousing anger? Do I even know what anger is? And you can hear him, no. Do I need you to show me what anger is? Yes, in all the diversified ways. We think anger is raging mania, but you'll start to see with him that it is all kinds of things. Rage expresses in all kinds of ways. All kinds of ways. Like you'll think you're just like so calm and, I'm cool and collected, and it's complete rage. Oh, and he's also saying, see that rage is not following the assignments. That's rage, actually. That's rage described. When we do not follow divine expression, that's rage, he says. So the rage is what's saying no to the expression of divinity and following his instructions. So we need him to show us, okay. And I'm asking him, and there's a really deep intensity to that. He says, yes. And I'm asking him, and it can be released through the desire, to release of the desire. Yes. That's why we're going directly to desire. You don't have to experience the rage. You just have to see how everything is rage, and acknowledge that there's some rage that I need to see, that all of this saying no is about rage. To keep the rage, keep the demand to God that we be experience a separation. Saying, yes, this is to keep the demand for separation. Okay. So Jesus, can you help point out when I don't think it's rage, but it's really rage? And he says, yes, I'll show you where that is. That's how come it's so deceptive. Because we think we're quote unquote fine, and we're really in a state of rage. He says the rage in consciousness is a consistent practice. But it doesn't get labeled like that because consciousness is how the fragmentation works. He said happiness in a future is rage. Happiness in a memory, rage. That's deep. Keeping memories, rage. Wow, you know? Okay. Anything other than supreme happiness is rage. He says, yes. So we're so accustomed to rage and thinking rage and then happiness can be, yes, there's a belief that happiness can be found in rage. You can ask them that. See, that's the ego's plan, is that salvation can be found through rage. You can ask them, is there a belief that salvation can be found? Yes. And then it fragments out and just diversifies in all kinds of ways. And he's reminding me, every resistance to following him is rage. This is a rage talk. We're going to put this up as a rage talk. Okay. So you don't even know what rage is or how to recognize it. That's why we need him to show us, is this rage? Every twitch is rage. That's how deceptive the ego is. Oh, give to get, rage. Horizontal love, rage. Rage isn't really what we think it is. No, he says, no, you don't know what rage is. I'm asking, so fragmented consciousness is really an extended play of rage. He said, yeah. This is a play of rage. Because it's the only way it can continue. See, the light's not raging. Is the light, look at do the light test. Is it raging? It's just here. So the rage is required for dreaming. Yes, he said that's what keeps that dream going, that rage. Mind wandering. Is that rage? Okay, Jesus. Rage is the denial of supreme happiness in an attempt to try to find heaven somewhere in rage through another thought, through more rage. Yes, I said it, you know, so it's looking for within rage to try to find peace in rage. That's the confusion, that salvation lies in rage. And now we can sit here and go, okay, that feels really crazy. But until it's admitted and seen with him, like the whole of consciousness is rage, that we're pretending it's a good thing and that salvation can be found in it. He's going, yeah. Okay. Until you see it, see through the rage with him, how that's all rage. You know, he said there's only rage is fear, it's expression of fear. Until we see through it with them. Okay, Jesus. All the same. Remember, you do not really recognize what obviously I'm saying. He's certainly he's pointing it out today. And nothing that you believe in this connection means anything. You will probably be tempted to dwell on more in some situation. That's true. I could see that play. Dwelling on some more than others. Okay, here's something to look at. Than on others. On the fallacious grounds that they are more obvious. So he's really trying to help. I can hear him, you know, I'm trying to break the pattern. Because see, consciousness is a hunt. It's a selective hunt to maintain fragmentation. It goes out and it's selective. It selects among all the things. And he's really helping us break that pattern of, you know, selectivity and seeing that it's all the same, that it's all rage on a stick. Actually, he's saying, yes, till you see it's all rage. Because you have an idea of what rage is. You don't know what rage is. It's making that really clear. You don't know. Rage is anything other than supreme happiness. Can't find another way. Ask him, Jesus, is there's either supreme happiness or rage being the dream. That's shedding a whole new light on rage. Consciousness is the addiction. I was asking him, so consciousness is the addiction to rage. Okay. Rage is selectivity, being selective, whereas supreme happiness is there's no selectivity in that. It's just total and complete whole, infinite. Infinite. Rage is just selectivity, which light doesn't select. See that the light's not selecting anything. It's non-selective. Everything's the same, an infinite light of being. On the fallacious grounds that they are more obvious. This is not so. Okay, yeah, this is deep. This is merely an example of the belief that some forms of attack are more justified than others. Oh, that's selectivity. See, we'll select out the attack we want to look at. That's why he has to show us. He's saying, yes, that's why you have to ask me, because you will even select which attack to look at when it's all the same. Until we let him show us that all attack is the same. All rage is the same. Anything that's other than supreme happiness is rage. That's humbling. But there's so much love behind that, like infinite love. Letting that fully bloom in awareness, like that it's all really rage. As you search your mind for all the forms in which attack thoughts present themselves. I said, Jesus, we don't even know what attack of thoughts. He said, yes, that's correct. I have to show you. Because again, that playing consciousness to make some thoughts good and other thoughts bad, see, to keep the thoughts and then to select which form of attack's okay. And I need to show you. He's really clear on that. He says, I need to show you because you don't even see it. Where the rage is. Which attack thoughts present themselves, hold each one in mind while you tell yourself, okay, I am determined to see blank. Name of person. Will you help me search my mind? Yes, he said that's function. When you ask me to help you, I'll help you. See, you can't go where we won't invite him, because that's the whole playing consciousness, to shut that out. He said, these will be highly effective when you let me help you search your mind. Again, that's what he's teaching us to do with chapter 20. He's teaching us. He's teaching us how to search our minds with him. And so he can just be really deeply teaching us what to look at. I'm determined to see blank, name of person differently. To really just see, I go naked with the searching and let him bring the things into awareness. I'm determined to see the blank situation differently. Try to be as specific as possible. You may, for example, focus your anger on a particular attribute of a particular person, believing that anger is limited to this aspect. If your perception is suffering from this form of distortion, say, I am determined to see the attribute in this person differently. Then he's saying, get as specific as you can. Yes, he says, be really specific. And I'm saying that's what's most helpful. He's saying, yes, that's what's most helpful. Yeah, he's showing me, yeah, like consciousness likes to play like water on a beach. When you go to look something and then the wave comes up on the sand, here comes the thought. and it likes to go back down into the sand. Like, you know, how the water just disappears into the sand, and you'll go, wait, where's that thought? And it likes to play hide and seek. He's saying, yes. You know, so really don't let those, really, he's teaching us really to use focus, not to trick ourselves anymore. And I'm asking him, can we ask you to help bring that back into awareness? He says, yes, just ask. You can ask my help. I'll show you. So you can't, so there's, like we're saying with chapter 20, so there's no place for the ego to go. There's no place for it to hide. He can bring it back into our focus. So we can really, okay, Jesus, what is it I need to see here? So it can't like sneak down and go back under the subconscious mind. And we can't delude ourselves with that. I'm asking him, I said, that's a form of hiding. He said, yeah, it's a form of way of consciousness hides from the direct looking, which is really, this is so helpful because he's showing us the diverse ways in which consciousness plays to delude in delusion. And why his instructions are so specific here in the course, and it's the way to look and to ask for his help to bring those things in awareness. That's just the speed that's being offered. Thank you, Jesus, for showing us all of this. Really appreciate it. Thank you, brothers, for coming so we can look at all of this and just be shown. He's just filling in like so much about everything, really. I appreciate it. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, brothers. And thank you, Lori, because she's going to sing again for us. And yeah, bless us with her presence in her song in honor of God together. I think for the purposes.
Greetings. This is called Magnitude. Into all eternity, there crept a tiny mad idea. The Son of God forgot to laugh. Teardrops fall in a tiny space, never real. Can I go back? I'm terrified of the light. I wanna go home. I'm terrified of the light. from the decision to forget, to the desire to remember, to the experience, to the always have known. I'm in the huddle for healing. We're in the huddle for healing. The calls for love. Paradise was never lost. Magnitude. I'm in the huddle for healing. I'm in the huddle for healing. The calls for love. Paradise was never lost.
Love from San Juan Coastline. We love you from San Juan Coastline. Thank you, Lori. So beautiful. Here she goes. Love you. That's gorgeous. Thank you.